why, before we get, I mean, what do you guys think of this season? And by the way, why does Shannon now hate you? And you just said that, so.
Oh, man.
Curious.
Well, that's a new thing.
I'm hoping she doesn't. My brother had mentioned something about a grocery shopping cart full of alcohol because she was seen at the grocery store next to my house. But he never said to Gina, he'd mentioned it to Gina when Gina was on my podcast. Oh, I saw Shannon. She had a cart full of alcohol. It was New Year's, but it wasn't for her. It was for everybody at this party. She wasn't drinking it. I never said it. My brother did. So I text her, not even thinking anything, like, hey, can you come on my podcast? She's like, at this time, that would be a negative. I've bettered myself. I'm getting help. I'm like, huh? Then I watched the first episode of this season and my brother's on there talking smack about about Shannon. So now I think she thinks I'm spreading this stuff where she's still an alcoholic. And I think she's sensitive to the fact that she got the DUI. And I was part of it, this alcohol grocery cart thing.
I mean, I do have some note cards that I pulled out here. I mean, I hate I hate to go into behind the velvet rope mode here, but so just slow down for a second and back up. So your brother was talking shit about her on the first episode of your podcast or of The Housewives?
Housewives.
He was on Orange County Housewives
the very first
season?
show this season.
Oh.
Yeah, they even showed a picture of him and they were like, well, Andrew saw Shannon with a big pile of alcohol in a grocery cart, which he did say that to Gina.
I don't remember.
I literally
can't remember. Oh, wow.
They showed a picture of Andrew and then basically Gina was talking about it. And she was like, well, Elizabeth
but Gina should never have brought that back up. She brought it up on camera, which pissed me off.
Right.
I think people need to leave Shannon alone. I think they're being really mean to her. Nobody knows if she's an alcoholic. I don't believe she is. I mean, she had a bad moment. Everybody does. There's so many people who get DUIs and make a wrong call or mistake while they're drinking. But it's not fair to keep like going after her the way they are this season. I think it's unfair. Totally.
I agree.
Yeah, I think being an alcoholic is its own problem. Having a DUI has nothing to do with being an alcoholic. Everybody pretty much will have one drink, and if they get in the car, that's technically they're over the limit. They don't go hand in hand. If you've got a DUI, it doesn't mean you're an alcoholic for sure. But it's hard when you're in the public eye because it's all over the news. Yeah. And then people start talking and then they start to reveal when she is drinking. It still doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. It's not dependent on alcohol. So I agree. I think they should leave her alone actually a lot when it comes to that topic. Everyone left Gina alone. So it's the same thing.
Exactly.
It is the same thing. I still can't believe I don't remember this clip that aired during the first episode. And I didn't know it was your brother who I met through this whole podcast thing with you. But so wait, so that's what happened. I'm just going back to that for a minute. So that happened and then you asked her to come on to this podcast.
Not even knowing anything was wrong because I get along with all the ladies now. Like I'm friends with every single one.
But she texted you back and said,
like literally no.
And what, because your brother said this and now it's on the show?
Yeah.
I'm just intrigued by this.
I'm going to read the text.
I would have, if you did want to read the text, I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. Are you going to argue with that?
No, I'm not arguing with it.
I mean, I was really sad when I got it and it just said,
were you really?
And I wrote her back, like, look at this.
Like how sad.
I wrote her back housewife fashion, freaking out that I'm like, Andrew did not say that. I called Gina immediately. I'm like, did you say this? It was just crap. Like, don't throw Andrew under the bus. My brother's like super nice. Look at that.
What was Andrew's point of making that comment?
But he didn't even say it on air.
He didn't
said
say
it to
be
Gina,
mean
and
or
Gina
anything.
brought
He
it
just
on
said,
the show.
As a matter of fact, I just happened to see Shannon in the grocery store.
Yeah. So
it got blown up.
So I wrote, hi, Shannon. This is Elizabeth Vargas. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Congratulations on the launch of the new season this week. I would absolutely love to have you on Girl Talk, brought to you by Daily Logic. This is when I had the Daily Logic. To discuss your health and wellness, how you're taking care of yourself, how you lost weight, and how you maintain your beautiful skin tone. Basically, how you keep up with the Joneses. We don't need to go into detail about housewife stuff. Just in general, we can keep it simple and light if you want. I'm filming the new Girl Talk podcast on the 15th, blah, 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 blah. Tell me when you're available. I would absolutely be honored to have you on Girl Talk. That's all I wrote. This is the response. It's a book.
You want me to read?
I have to tell you. Yeah, you read it. I'm done. I'm like so mad.
Read
that
Shannon's response to us.
I have to tell you, Elizabeth, I'm very disappointed. I ran into your brother on New Year's Eve at the market when I was with my daughter and boyfriend to pay for the food and alcohol for their New Year's Eve party with their friends. Apparently, you chose to tell at least one classmate that your brother ran into me and I had an entire cart full of alcohol, insinuating that it was for me and it was used on the show. I am sorry, but I have zero interest in doing your podcast at this point. I have made incredible strides to become a healthier person, and the fact that you would somehow get involved in my business with no knowledge is very hurtful. I'm really very disappointed.
So then I read.
But prior to this, everything's fine.
You can read this.
And you didn't even say it.
I was like, I said, I don't even know. The response was just, I just wrote her like then I immediately wrote Gina.
And you didn't even say it. You said it. Your brother said it to Gina, and Gina said it on the show, not your brother.
Exactly. And Gina kind of embellished it.
What did you write to Gina?
So I was pissed.
Just in case you want to read that text as well.
So I just asked Gina and everybody if they want to go to Skibo Castle, to my castle. I'm like, let's have a ladies trip. Take everybody to Scotland, because Scotland's big right now. We'll go to the castle, we'll chill out, and then we'll go hang out at some, go to Loch Ness Monster.
But if they can't go, I'm definitely available.
Yeah.
Okay, so here
we're
we go.
also available to go to this. I mean, I know they're on the show and we're not, but hello.
No, I would love for everybody to go. It's wonderful. So I wrote Gina. It's been a long time.
I'm like, we're nice too. We're special in our own ways. Okay.
Okay, so I wrote. I was so upset.
You're mad at Gina, yeah. I mean,
I was like, what did she just throw my?
Welcome to Housewives, Elizabeth. I mean, I know you did a whole season, but this is what it is.
But if it's just a comment, then things get taken out of proportion. So it's probably not your brother's fault or Gina's fault.
Okay. Hi, you read this one too.
Oh.
Do you want me to read it?
Just read it.
Okay. Hi, Gina. Quick question. ... Apparently, it was brought up that Andrew had mentioned Shannon had a cart full of alcohol on New Year's Eve. ... Did Andrew physically say that to you? ? I'm not with him right now, but I'm just curious because I can't imagine him saying that, but maybe he did. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what was said about her being at the grocery store with alcohol. I can't imagine Andrew throwing her under the bus, but is that what he said to you? ? I was asking her to be on the podcast, and apparently she's really upset with me. And then she wrote, hey, he did. So it just keeps going. So then it's like she's arguing, saying,
"We got to finish it."
Okay,
we got it. We need to hear it.
This is it. I mean,
hey, he did. I found it interesting that they chose to include that because it was something I mentioned very casually to Emily. So then, of course, I had to talk to Emily. But thinking because you came in later in the season, they probably thought it was an opportunity to connect the dots. He told me the story about how he bumped into her at the market on New Year's Eve. I'm not even honestly sure. When anyone says that, you wonder. I'm not even honestly sure if he talked to her or not. So I didn't say anything like that, but that she had a shopping cart full of alcohol. So it was basically just like verbatim what he said to me with no elaborations. Then I wrote, I mean, it just goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Basically, no, my brother did not say that. Yes, he did.
So what did your brother say? How did he word